Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is an update on my Snakebite Orks project, or whatever we're going to call it, my squiggly beast and messing around with orcs again. I haven't done a ton now. I've kind of went ahead and worked a bit more on these guys, and honestly the detail bits like their legs and the anatomy is a bit hard, is a bit kind of annoying to get right, and I'm not sure if I've done it fantastically. But look, I think once they have a bit of paint on them, the little bit of texture on the skin and that kind of thing will save it. And anything anything messed up, I can just put some scales on. It'll be okay. So this guy is a bit of a weird one because of his stance. He's going to have to be on a larger base. If that, so I'll have to maybe raise him up like this, or I'll figure it out anyway. So it's going to be a weird one. I don't know what I'm going to count him as and that kind of thing, but at the moment I'm just kind of having fun making them up and that kind of thing. So you'll see here I did get some more plastic card in, so I have a fair bit in stock at the moment for myself. So I can do some little detail work, and I have to rivet all these up and that kind of thing. So this guy, I'm not really sure what he's going to be yet, is the thing. I don't know if I'm going to stick an orc on his back or if he'd be too small for that. If it was going to be a Gretchen with a gun basically, and then he would count as a chopper, or this would count as a chopper, and he would be some kind of boy. But then he's quite big as well, so, or he'd be on a bigger base, so that's kind of confusing. I could use him, I could armor him up slightly or give him more scales, and then it count as more armor. He could be a bike potentially, if I just put him on the right base size. But I think, either way, I've had fun kind of messing around and sculpting his face and that, and it is so much freedom in making these orc in the squigs and that, because when you look them up, you'll notice there's so many different types and different kind of styles that people have done. Like this guy, that leg I think turned out pretty good. And it's going to focus for me. No, obviously when I do that it doesn't. Yeah, like there's a bit of texture there that'll pick up paint fine. And I don't know whether to put him on a base, 25mm base like that. And my plan is maybe put Gretchen here, and he's holding on to this tusk or teeth, I suppose. And then he has a gun, as in a slugger. So he would just be basically a chopper boy or a slugger boy, which is pretty fucking time consuming to make one boy, but I mean, I think it'll be fun. And the stance and everything kind of worked out, considering it's just from a paperclip. I'm trying to kind of go a little bit multimedia, not multimedia, mixed materials with these guys, to add in a little bit more. I don't know if it's realism or just more interest, as in when you get all these kind of soft, organic looking textures from obviously the skin and the scales ish of the squigs. It's nice to contrast against obviously the plastic card, and then I have a little bit of twine here, things like that. And I'm maybe going to work in feathers potentially. I'm thinking of potentially using tufts for the hair of the orcs, which I haven't seen done before, so it might actually look stupid, but it's an idea that I think could look pretty funky, especially if it's like a colourful tuft of hair, as in the count as or just like a hair squig. But that's, I'm kind of doing a test model at the time, at the moment, that I'll show you now in a minute. But yeah, the squigs I'm having fun with. I'd like to get some paint on them. Like this guy, obviously this foot has to be finished yet, but these are like, I'm slowly kind of advancing with kind of sculpting full minis that have actual detail in them, that aren't just toys, covered with paper mache basically. But yeah, look, he's kind of got a piercing of a fang here, or a tooth as well, just to put some interest on that leg. But yeah, that's him. He's kind of coming along well there. And same thing again, he's probably going to turn out to be just a slugger boy. This guy got a bit of paint on him, the older squig, so I repainted him, kind of looking for something a little bit more brighter, and I'll do something with his eyes there. Same thing again, like I said, he doesn't really fit the style of my new guys, but there's so many different types of squigs, I think we get away with it. As for what he counts as, he could be just an attack squig, or I'm sure people won't mind if he's in the middle of a slugger boy mob. They're not going to mind. He's on a 25mm and he's the same kind of size, so it doesn't really matter. This guy, I'll keep him to last actually. This squigot, I'm kind of come to a standstill with this, just because I don't really know what to do with the top here. I found some older rules, and you can get squigots and small squigots, big squigots, and this kind of thing. Obviously, the big Forge World ones are huge, and they're a lot bigger than this guy, and they have multiple guns, and they probably can carry troops and everything. But this guy's so small. Really, he's about 5 inch to maybe 6 inch, a little bit over his tail here. So the rules for them are that he just has a big gun on his back, which I'm fine with. Like, it's cool. I just want to get some paint on him, kind of get going before you lose I lose the mojo for it, you know. So these is kind of templates and kind of setting out to see how it would work. I'm just doing it in cardboard before I cut it from plastic card, and I'll do some kind of harness going across here, and put some spikes on them as well to kind of have them match the larger squigots, but obviously without that much detail because they're smaller. I'll do the same from that side on this side, and maybe a wee bit down here. But it's really the top. So I've made this platform here with epoxy sculpt to kind of give me an area to build on, but I don't really know what to do with it. Do you know, if you can imagine, like, there's a boy on it. There's not really a lot of room on it. Like, fair enough, there's Gretchen, you could fit a few lads, and you could have a driver. You know, that's the whole thing then. What's the driver? Gretchen sitting up here, and he has kind of chains around his tusks, which I could do, but it's just kind of to figure it out before I go ahead with it. And have a little kind of saddle here, and then a gun emplacement on top, which will probably what I'll end up doing. You know, I've got loads of options. What's this from Robot Wars or something like that? That could be on the back here, either as a turret or something, but it's too big. Like, let me just zoom out here. It's way too big, I think. It looks a bit too silly even for orcs. These bits from a toy, you know what I mean? That could be pretty cool, but I think it would count as a big shooter, and I think that's too big for a big shooter. I know that's blasphemy potentially when you're talking about orcs. Oh, Jesus, too much that guy, but for kind of suited, like, if that's a big shooter, what the heck is a las cannon going to be? Do you know what I mean? These would potentially work from the old bike here. That could work. I could use these to make some kind of little turret out of them. Would probably be the best. And keep it kind of orky. Like I said, I've got a fair bit of plastic card at the moment, so I can build it up. But it's just kind of to figure out what's the best way to go about it. Like, I made this out of sprue to build as a base. Now that's a bit too big, but I could do something similar again. And just put plastic card over it, and it doesn't have to be even because it's orky. And I'll obviously make it a bit more even before I go ahead with it, and have a turret on top of that, or that swings around. I don't know, I'll have to look some stuff up, but I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, I gave him a fair bit more scales, and I have given some spikes on the tail there just to be a little bit extra damage. But yeah, okay, so as it goes for the orcs, I did make this test boy. I had a lot of fun making this guy, actually. Snakebite boy here. He's got all sorts on him. You'll see the mixed media like I was talking about. So he's going to be, I'm basically going with snakebite lore, and I might go with kind of that they drink fungus beer as well, and obviously breed lots of squigs and mushrooms. So it's kind of, it's quite different than the Evil Sons. There's going to be a lot of, like I said, little details like this. Mushrooms on his base. He is actually got another mushroom here, but he's stomping on a squig here. So he's mushing this poor guy down. He was a lot of fun to put together. Yeah, a little bit more leather kind of look to him. Savage Orc Boy head that I had gotten off eBay, I think, ages ago. Some tusks or big teeth as a shoulder pad. And just a little bit detailed here, like plastic. What's that? That's just paper with Mod Podge. Same thing here. And that's going to be, his band here is going to be some squig skin. And he's got a Gnasher squig, or I think it's a flesh eater squig, face eater squig, something like that. One of the older ones that it's on the lore, just on his weapon there to make it a little bit more killy, and some extra spikes. And he's roaring there with his tongue out. But yeah, he's going to be a lot of fun to put together. He's also got a little package here that I don't really know what's there. But yeah, I'm just going to actually run out and spray him after this, and get some paint on him, and kind of test out some colors, because for my actual boys, I'm not 100% sure yet. But this is going to be my test model, and I really like him. Fair enough, I put a lot of work in him for a boy, but if it's this is kind of what I'm talking about. The multimedia is coming into it. Well, not multimedia. Jeez, what am I saying? Mixed materials. Do you know what I mean? So there's a bit of extra stuff, as in the paper and the twine, just to add that little bit more to it. For a guy that has a 6+ save, you know what I mean? He's going to be wiped off the board in a minute. I don't know why I'm bothering, but I'm having a lot of fun. And that's the plan kind of going forward. So yeah, I'm going to paint him up and continue with these, get him sorted with his anatomy here, and see what I can do with this Grot or Gretchen on top of him. And same with this guy, figured out. But look, I might just move on and make some more little squiggly guys. Like, every time I've got a spare bit of putty left, I'll go and make something. If this is going to focus for me, a little bit orky, like put some feet on that, and that's another little type of squig. You know what I mean? They all kind of have similar features. I'm going to give them some teeth in here. But yeah, I think I will get some savage orcs or orcs, whatever they're called now, and mix them with some of my old boy bits, and go crazy and make some more snake bites, and that'll be cool. But yeah, it's going to be slow and steady on this one, I think, lads. I'm not going to fly forward or bust on and be like, oh Jesus, I have to get 20 boys, 30 boys ready for a certain date. I'm just going to tip away at it and put a little bit more effort into them, because I think the more effort you put into them, the more personalized they are, and I think they're kind of cooler. I'll just pop this in at the end here for other things I've been working on. This is a little owlbear baby. Owlbear cub, owlbear chick. That's an argument I think that could be had. There's big fluffy arms that I'm going to undercoat now in a minute. His face is a bit meh, but I think with paint I'll be able to fix it. And this guy is another little kind of fairy troll looking little dude. Obviously he's got nipples. I don't know why I keep putting nipples on everything. He's got little curly boots and everything. So this guy, when he's sprayed up, he's going to have a lot of fun textures to play with. And he will be fun to paint up as well. So they're kind of something extra on the side. But yeah, going forward, I think it's going to be fun, kind of experimenting with these color schemes and getting something tied down and slowly tipping away at this. But yeah, let me know what you think, lads. Let me know, give me any tips or whatever, especially for this. You know, I'm kind of at standstill for that one at the moment. It's a bigger project. That always seems to happen. I just don't want to lose the mojo on it and not finish it, you know. But yeah, give me tips on this one and I'll come back to you on the rest. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Good luck.